Hey everyone, this is Kimmy. I am Mama on a Mission, and today is Monday, and I'm going to do a weekend recap of my reselling life. Thank you all for being here. I am a 14-year online reseller who sells on eBay, Poshmark, and Depop, and within the last 10 days, I have started the whatnot journey. So that actually puts me at 4 different platforms that I sell on. And I actually have one other side hustle that also brings in money to my family, which is like a independent selling thing as well. So we are going to go over my third whatnot show. I mean, I went from a couple weeks ago, if you've been with me for a while, a couple weeks ago, I was thinking about doing whatnot, and here I am a couple weeks later, and I'm already on my third show, and I've sold hundreds of pieces already. It has been insane. I would be lying if I didn't say I have been a little bit overwhelmed, and I have some notes here because I'm old school. If you're a newbie, I write down a lot of things, and a few things that I'm going to be tweaking, issues I'm having. Let's talk first about the whatnot show. So this is my third show. My first show, I did all sizes and women's tops. My second show, I did kids clothes. That one also went well. And now this third show was a plus size only show. Now, like I said, I've been reselling a long time. Plus size, fluffy clothes, because I'm a fluffy girl, have been my specialty. That's been something I've sold nearly the almost 15 years I've been selling. So I love plus size clothes. That is what I am. So I do enjoy finding items that I know would flatter myself, or supporting my plus size girls out there. So this show I only did for about an hour and a half. And I will say that is one thing that I'm going to be struggling with, and I put in my notes here, is how to juggle all the things. I mean, if you think about it, I'm doing 5 different ways of reselling. And whatnot was just this random thing. I wanted to jump on the train, and the train is chugging. We've departed, what is it? The station. The train is going. And I'm way back here. My chubby legs are just running because the train is gone, and I'm trying to keep up. Basically, is where I'm at. Hopefully y'all don't think I'm crazy, especially some of you new people. The train has left. The whatnot train is going. And I think for me, it's going to be in the next couple weeks. One huge thing for me as a reseller is to figure out, streamline my processes, make sure I have everything organized, and that I can start to feel a little bit more confident about all the processes, the show itself, the inventory, the shipping. So if you want to see how that goes for me, being a brand new whatnot seller, I'm going to be doing some additional whatnot specific videos, but I can't forget about all the other ways I make money as well too. So we'll go over that. The whatnot show, I did an hour and a half. Bless my sisters so much. I didn't even know both of them were going to be there. My sisters also have dabbled into reselling. So if you see them on their pages on my whatnot, it's Side Hustle Thrift and Thrifting Clothes and More. They also do shows and are somewhat in the reselling game. So give them some love, and I appreciate their help, because I don't know what I would do if I didn't have their help. The kids show, I was solo. The first show, my son helped me, and now my third show, my awesome sisters were there. We sold, here it is. I'll stop blabbing. In an hour and a half, or about 90 minutes, we sold 70 plus size items. My third show, 70 items, is literally the smaller, I'm just a tiny little whatnot seller. I think that's great. My total sales ended up being $350. So my average sale price, or my ASP, was $5 per item. Now, I've already gotten some crazy comments on some of my whatnot videos, and here's my perspective as far as the ASP of $5 in whatnot. And from my perspective as a brand new reseller on whatnot, that's actually pretty good for a clothing seller. Brand new, a lot of what Whatnot is quantity, meaning you're doing shows for 2 hours and you're selling. I sold 70 items in 90 minutes. So you may not always be making the amount of money like you might on eBay, but you aren't waiting 3 months for it to sell, right? When we talk about eBay numbers, most of the time we're saying that a 3-month or 90-day turnaround is that's a good turnaround on eBay for your items. Of course, I've sold things in a day. I get it. That would be great. But in general, when we're talking about clothes selling on eBay, we say 90 days or 3 months is a great turnaround. So if you're willing or wanting to wait that amount of time for some of your items, then that's what I do too. That's okay. But when we're talking about the Whatnot side of things, you're selling 70 items in 90 minutes. So your ASP might be a little bit less, but you're moving a ton of inventory, which also has been overwhelming for me because now I'm shipping out 1 million packages. I will bring, about 40 packages to the post office this afternoon. Actually, this is going to post Monday night, so they've already been at the post office, but, so $350 in sales, 70 items after the fees. Whatnot takes 8% commission, and then they take 2.9% as a processing fee and a 30 cents per order fee. So after all my fees, they're going to give me $274. My cost of goods, most of my items come from pay by the pound places or like dollar day garage sale, bag sale type of places, which of course I've already mentioned on some of my Whatnot shows. If you are a newbie and you are going to start on a lower end, like my tops were starting at $2 a piece, make sure your cost of goods is really low. So overall, the profit after my cost of goods and my fees for 90 minutes of selling was $194. Now I've gotten some sassy comments. You guys are so sassy. No, there's been a couple sassy comments, and I completely get it. I want to be as transparent as possible about this journey. Like when you're thinking, $194 profit, that's how much I make in 90 minutes. That's a good amount. It's an hour and a half. Also, the time involved and all the other things, the way that you want to think about it, everyone has different ways. Like, yes, there is a shipping time. As far as me having to ship it out, there's a sourcing amount of time. So those things, you do how you want to do as far as thinking about the profit side of things. We'll just say show profit was $194 and 1.5 hours. Now, since I sell in so many different ways, for me, sourcing and shipping is just part of the game. Regardless of starting Whatnot, I source every week anyways for my other selling platforms. Regardless of Whatnot, I'm shipping I ship Monday through Friday, sometimes even Saturdays. So that's already happening. And yes, it will add more time for the shipping part, but this is my job. This is what I do and what I have done for almost 15 years is I'm a reseller. So that's just part of the equation. That's part of my time. So, take with that what you will. 70 items moved out the door. Now, I will say, the shipping part is getting better. I'm going to do a very specific a Whatnot shipping video in the next day or two. I'm going to film it, and I have it all planned out in my head. You guys know I'm a thinker, and hopefully that will help. So many of you have questions about Whatnot shipping, and hopefully I can kind of explain it a little bit more and give my perspective. I'm going to do some screen sharing so you can see some of the setups as it is. So make sure, if you're not already, subscribe to my channel. Little shout out to myself. But those things will be coming. This is happened in the last 10 days. I am not an expert, but I am so willing and happy to share my journey and what I'm learning along the way. My strategy so far, since I have been selling more than what I honestly expected, is I start with the orders that only have one item, or the items that start with number 1, like my first item sold, and then I sort it out from there. So this last show that I just did, the top buyer, her name was Lisa, she ordered 8 items. And then there was someone who ordered 6, 5, 4, and then a bunch of like 2s and 1s. So I kind of organize it that way for myself. Again, if you have a different strategy, by all means, tell us. Let us know, because I don't know what I'm doing either. I mean, I kind of do. I've sold, I think I'm close to 300 items sold and whatnot now in 3 shows. So, I mean, I'm moving product here, folks. I'm moving product. Luckily, also, as far as juggling the time between the whatnot and my other sourcing platforms, you guys know I use Nifty. It's a reselling app. And like, I've been kind of overwhelmed getting all of this out and juggling the 5th thing here. And Nifty helps take care of like all of my offers, relisting and delisting. Like, if I had to manually delist my items, it would for sure be a complete disaster. I'm not even lying. Nifty does that for me. So if something sells on eBay, it takes it off Poshmark and Depop for me. And in the middle of like even the show on Saturday, I'm selling things on other platforms. So like, I feel very lucky, and I just wanted to mention, like, if you haven't thought about doing a reselling app and you're wanting to go big, you have hundreds of items, you're looking to streamline some of your processes, it is a total lifesaver for me. I literally could not keep up with delisting or relisting and all the things if I didn't have Nifty. So let's talk about a couple of the other platforms I had. So I did 3 for this weekend. I had $350 in sales on Whatnot. I did $230.34 on eBay. On Poshmark, I did $80, and even Depop, I did $42, which is just 2 orders. But that's every platform. What? What's happening? My Depop has been slow. You know, eBay has been kind of a roller coaster, and Poshmark is a toss-up. Like, that's the best way I can even explain any of these platforms for me right now. Those are my totals from the weekend. So my total overall in sales, well, and this doesn't include my last side hustle, which you guys, I don't really talk about on here. Sales is $702.34. I sold 82 items over the weekend between all 4 of those platforms. And I feel pretty good about that. My Poshmark is a little low. Last week was more difficult for me to list the 10 items a day. It was more difficult than normal. I had to give myself a little bit of grace. And I'm not going to lie. One day I was just completely overwhelmed. I ran and jumped into my bed and I cried for like 20 minutes. You ever just need a good cry? I used to be such, like, nothing bothered me. Maybe that was just because I was young and now I'm old, because I just get overwhelmed and my anxiety kicks in and boop, like, I just need a minute to myself. And I mentioned in my last video, Tanya, she had sent me a buy me a coffee, which is like just like a little gift thing that you can, like, for social media people, like, thank them for their time and their content if you're learning. And it came right at the right moment. I was like, Tanya, thank you so much, because I was overwhelmed with all of the things I have going on. Is this becoming like a therapy session? No one's going to want to listen to this. Why do I do this? I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Okay. Bless you for being here. So that was my weekend as a reseller, which I say part-time because I have one other part that I devote part-time hours to. So I'm really going to have to assess. You know, I'm definitely going more towards the 25, 30 hours a week now with Whatnot, my Poshmark, my eBay, and Depop. That 30 hours per week in sourcing, shipping, listing, and now live shows. It's definitely creeping on up to part-time to almost getting to a full-time status. Plus, I work on the other thing too. So $702.34. I'm learning the Whatnot as I go. The nice thing about this last show, I mean, I did sell 70 items, but there were a lot of people who just bought 2, 3, 4 items. And that was easier to ship in just like my normal poly mailers. It's just clothes, so I just put it in a poly mailer. And my first show, I had people ordering 20 items at a time, and I had giant boxes. Like, your girl is, you know, not the best in shape person, and I had boxes, huge boxes of stuff. So that will also be something that I will need to think about, is, you know, strategizing my time, juggling my time, streamlining my processes, and obviously having my time management really kind of honing in here. And lucky for me, my kids go back to school, and I love them being home. That's my whole basis. Like, I literally started reselling with my first son in my belly because I wanted to be able to stay home and take care of them. But we're nobody special. We needed another way to make money for the family, and reselling was my answer. And that's basically how I've gotten here. Now here, 14 and a half years later, I love them being home, but you know, even though they're teens, they still need things like, Ma, I need a sandwich, or, you know, can we go do this? Can you drop me off at a buddy's? You know, they're still, even though they're teens, they don't drive or anything yet. There's still a lot of time involved. So I love having my summers with them, but I'm kind of ready to, like, boop, go back to school so I can have, like, my time during the day of just me. And I hope that I can really hone in on streamlining some of these processes. Like I said, Nifty is helping me with this process. I am going to do a Whatnot Shipping specific video so that some of you, hopefully it'll answer some type of questions for you. So that's how it's going here on the home front. I do also have a what sold video. My what sold videos are where I will literally screen share my items to you that have sold. And I'll show you what sold, how much it sold for, where I got it from, those types of things, so that you guys can also learn what is selling for me. Now, especially for anybody new on my channel in the last week or two, I am not a Gucci seller, okay? I don't even think I've ever sold Gucci in my life. I am more of a bread and butter sale, a, you know, 25-ish sale girl, and that's what I've been doing for most of my life. Now, do I have higher sales? Yeah, I do. I mean, I'm shipping out something today that sold for $45. Great, fantastic. But the core of my business is bread and butter sales. Things I take from the bins for $1 and I flip for $20, and I just do that over and over and over again. So that's the basis of my business, but I'm going to be doing a what sold video where I literally show you exactly what is selling for me and how much it sells for. And hopefully someone will learn, you know, from that too. So that's the update, the weekend update on my sales, on my Whatnot. The Whatnot went really well. I probably could have continued, but honestly, we were just kind of running out of time. I don't think I'm going to be one of those Whatnot sellers who can sell for 6 hours. Let me just do a last minute recap here of my thoughts on Whatnot so far. My third show, I'm only like 8 days into this. If you have the time to keep going, and there's even 2 or 3 people on and they're interested in looking at your items, keep going. Unfortunately for me, you know, the time management part, I'm going to have to work on. But most of my shows are only going to be 1.5 hours to 2.5 hours. Because that's just the only time that I have to devote to it right now. So if if you're a buyer, I know a couple of you are on here. That's the only amount of time I have. Make sure that you have items ready to go. Like, I don't know, I've watched some Whatnot sellers and they're like really fumbling to find their items. And I get it, because like sometimes people are asking me for things and I'm like, wait, what are you talking about? What? But you guys have your stuff ready to go. Because in the chance that you do get 2 or 3 people who are interested in whatever you're selling, they don't want you going off screen for a minute at a time and not having the items ready to go. You might lose them, okay? In these Whatnot shows, you're live. I mean, your face doesn't have to be live. I guess technically you could have it off to the side and you could put the item like on a hook if you don't want to be on the show. But people come and go. Like, my user count, you know, oh, I got 20 people in here. Oh no, I lost them all at 7. Did I say something dumb? I mean, we were laughing so hard on Saturday because I was a hot mess. It was kind of fun, but I probably lost a few people because I was just like trying to figure things out. We were laughing really hard because I'm just a hot mess express. And, but people don't want to, if someone pops into your show and they don't see anything up, they don't see anybody talking, they don't hear anybody talking, they're leaving. Welcome the people in. Hey, everyone, thanks so much for being here. Stay interactive. People are going to just leave. What? There's nobody on this. They're going to come into your show. You're going to be off trying to find something, way over here. And they're going to leave. Because they don't see anybody and they don't hear anything. And there's nobody chatting in the comments. So I will say that. Welcome people in. Be interactive. I know it's hard, if there's only 2 or 3 people. I've gone into shows and it's just one person in there. I get it. It's weird. You're like, hi, everyone. And there's 3 people there. In the beginning, until you find your people, until you get a larger following, that's how it's going to be. And maybe that's not for you. I've heard people say that, like, I don't know if this is for me. Maybe it's not. And that's okay. You have to find what works for you in your reselling business. It's not going to be for everyone. And in the beginning, especially, I think that's where it's going to make or break people. Can you do 10 shows knowing you might only sell $20 or that you might talk to yourself half the time because nobody's in there? But in the event that there is someone that pops in and it says, oh, new person, and you see your count going up 2, 3, 4, be ready. Oh, great. Hey, I have this size medium. Is anyone looking for dresses? I have dresses here. Be interactive and catch them before they up and leave, because there's hundreds of people selling on Whatnot. And some people, they'll just scroll through. Man, nobody's there. Oh, I don't like their item. They're just scrolling. So make sure you try to catch their attention and be interactive as much as possible. And I get it, that's hard. But I would say that's probably the biggest thing I've noticed already by watching other people and then from my own shows, is trying to be interactive with them and give them the items that they want. Now, people ask me, hey, do you have, I didn't really have any jeans ready to go. I actually have a plus size jean now planned, jean, dresses, and bottoms. But you can still tell them, oh no, I don't have jeans ready right now. This is not that show, but I have another show going. And that would be another thing that I do really believe in. And from what I've seen is when you're ready to go, be ready to go. Have one show planned for the next 2-3 weeks. One, for anybody who does come in and is interested in following you, they can follow your other shows. 2, because it's showing Whatnot you're serious about what you're doing. We talk about algorithms and Poshmark and eBay and all the other things. Algorithms is like basically the computer data math of how they push your show or your items out to people. And there's equations for each one of these reselling platforms. And for Whatnot, I do think that's one of the things. They want people in your shows. They want interactions. They want people talking. They want people buying, of course. And they want you to be serious about your business, which only makes sense. Why would Whatnot, promote or put your show above people up here if you're not selling any items and you're not really interacting with your people and you don't have any future shows ready to go? I kind of jumped into this like an animal, but I have a lot of inventory. I've been selling a long time. So I'm rolling with the punches, but I already have kind of a pretty substantial backside. I do have a substantial backside. Girls like tacos. I have a substantial amount of experience, inventory, knowledge that kind of gives me a little bit of an edge because I've been reselling so long. Does that make sense? I cannot get to one video without mentioning food. In fact, we started talking about pockets and dresses on the Whatnot show, and I was wearing a dress with pockets, and I said they were my snack pockets. I have issues. I need to go on a walk. That's what I need to do. Anyways, did you guys know that one of my YouTube videos a long time ago, I've been only doing YouTube videos now for about 6 months. That's a long story. That someone made fun of my size. It's okay. I'm fluffy, I'm Sasquatchy, and that's all right. Anyways, those are my tips here at the end of what I'm experiencing, what I can tell you guys if you're going to jump in. The shipping is kind of complicated, but it's getting easier for me. I will do a video on that. And when you're ready, like I said, just start scheduling them out and give it a shot. Stay on for an hour, try to make some friends. You know, it's about building a network on Whatnot. Building, you know, people who believe in you. Someone asked me in my Whatnot show and said, I don't see any reviews yet. Can I trust you? Valid question, because I don't have any reviews yet because my first show is just getting delivered to the people. My second show is probably on a USPS truck somewhere. And my third show is about to go out. So that was a valid question. They're wondering, if I buy something from you, am I going to get it? So, you know, those are all the things that other people are also thinking about. And I'm going to be kind of taking these steps in order to try to grow the business. It takes time. I've been reselling for a long time, and it's not just going to happen overnight. So if you're going to commit to it, be ready to commit and just know in your head that you're going to have to do, you know, a show a week at least, in my opinion. I've actually had other people comment on my videos that they used to do Whatnot. They stopped for a couple months and then they went back on and nobody ever came on their videos. But that's because once you stop being consistent, even just every week, they put you way down here. Now you have to regrow all of your following, all of your algorithms, start selling again, reviews, all the things. We talk about this with the eBay. I try to list every day because it shows eBay that I'm serious about my business. Can you sell without listing on eBay every day? Yeah, absolutely. I'm a human. And a messy one at that. And sometimes I don't get to it. So it happens. I'm just saying, if you're trying to be the best you can be in the reselling world, the algorithms and being consistent are absolutely a key factor. Have I said enough here? I'm almost at 30 minutes. You guys don't want to listen to me anymore. I have the Whatnot shipping coming, the what sold. That's my weekend sales. And I do have some haul videos coming. So that'll be fun because I need inventory. My boxes are empty. I need things to list. I always show you guys what I'm picking up at the thrift stores. Let me know. Check in. Oh, shout outs. Autumn, Debbie, Things by the Burke, Rachel, Picasso, Kat, Heidi. There was a ton of people from the YouTube. Thank you for checking in. Thank you for being there. Just honestly, even if you don't buy anything, and that's perfectly fine. If you just say a shout out or interact like with my sisters or like, hey, that was really cute. That helps the algorithms. So I guess that's another suggestion. If you made it all the way to the end of this video, if you have someone who can support you, even your husband, to go on, they call them moderators, but they don't even have to be a moderator on your Whatnot show. Have a friend pop on and say, "Ooh, that's really cute. Oh, I like that," and see if they can get some interactions going. Because I notice the more that people talk and the more that people buy, it seems to grow. And then if it gets quiet or things aren't really selling, then it kind of goes down a little bit. So another tip is have your husband or wife or a friend, anybody. My son pops into my show and says things. So anybody to just kind of work on the algorithm, get some commentary going. How's it going for you? If you've had your first show lately or you're thinking about it, check in. Let us know how your sales are. What do you think? That was show 3 on Whatnot, plus all these other sales. I gotta go. I gotta go keep working. And I have to go get school supplies. So I'm going to get going here. Thank you so much for being here. It means a lot. It means everything to me. I have more Whatnot shows coming, more videos coming. And I just appreciate you guys so much. I hope you're doing really well. Love you so much. See you on the next one.